back to America Trends. There are probably few things worse than finding out you or someone you really love has been the victim of a scam. But we are finding out more and more that seniors are more and more at risk for scams involving computers, telephone calls, all kinds of things. And so we've got an expert on with us to talk about what to look for, what to warn people about, and what to do about them. It is Melissa Negrin-Wiener. She is a partner at Genser, Cona Elder Law, and we are so pleased to have her just to spend her time to give us tips about this. Melissa, welcome to America Trends.
Thank you so much.
What are some of the common scams in this day and age that are affecting elders?
There are really so many. The most common that we hear about are the lottery phone scams or email scams, where people are presented with, with this great news that they're winning some large amount of money, but in order to receive it, they need to send the taxes or the fees. They have to send ahead of time before they receive their winnings. So that's one we hear about often. And another one that's really quite upsetting is the grandparent scam. I'm not sure if you're familiar with. And that's when someone will receive a phone call from someone claiming to be their grandchild, and they're either in another country and they're in trouble on a trip, or they're in jail and they need money for that. And it can be quite scary for the person receiving it, if you can imagine, on the other end of the phone.
Takes a special kind of low person to scare someone about their grandkids being kidnapped, but I have heard about that, and it's far too common. And I guess, we're going to talk about some more scams, but I know you're going to have some tips to look forward to. But also romance scams, and that's, Melissa, it's hard for us. I'm a little proficient at the computer. It's hard for us to even keep up with what the bad guys are doing because it's their business. They're so good at it. But these romance scams, that can really touch someone's heart. And a senior person who is looking for that, not really aware of all these new bright and shiny cons that these bad people have going. What is this scam about?
Oh, they're playing on their emotions. These people are lonely. They love the idea of having somebody to talk to. In many cases, they're convinced that the individual, has fallen in love with them. Yeah. And a lot of times they're looking for funds to be able to take a trip to the United States to finally meet them, to visit them. And that's how they're really going after the seniors, to have them send funds over at the hope of meeting this person. And it's amazing that they are truly convinced that the individual is in love with them, that they're in love with the individual, and they send money.
Yeah. I guess if you haven't met someone and they're asking for money, that is a sure sign that you need to be a little wary. Also, another thing that makes you really clench up, Melissa, is that one where you get either an email or a fake call from the IRS.
Yeah, so today I got a call on my cell phone from Social Security. Yeah, it's amazing. So the IRS is never going to call you. They are never going to email you. The only way that they communicate is by regular mail. So it is really important, to make sure that information gets out to your elderly loved ones, that, if the IRS calls or emails, it is definitely a scam. It is not going to happen.
Oh, and then emails, again, the bad guys are so good at making an email look official, whether it's from your bank, PayPal, insurance for your car. But apparently, if they're asking for personal information, it might be a red flag. And also, you might need to just go straight to their website to make sure they are the real guys and not click through something that's within the email they send you.
Absolutely. So important never to click on anything. Some other tips, of course, never give personal information over email. A Medicare number, a Social Security number, a date of birth. It is so important never to give that type of information over an email. And if you get a phone call, especially if, it's supposedly a friend or a family member, just hang up and reach out to that person, and you'll know right away, hey, no, I'm not in Mexico, or I'm not here, I'm not there. I've seen it happen. I was at my parents' house when my father got a call from his grandson who was in jail. And the reason my father knew it wasn't his grandson is because the kids don't call him grandpa. They call him by another name. So it was obvious. But, it's those types of things that just catch people off guard. They definitely use scare tactics to get at the seniors. We also want to make sure that our seniors know that utility companies do not come door to door looking for payment. That is a big, big one. I'm not sure if you're aware that they're looking for cash payments.
That's so egregious. Talking to Melissa Negrin-Wiener, she is an expert on scams that target, any age group really, but especially elders, because that is such a segment that is being targeted, and those scams are growing. She's a partner at Genser, Cona Elder Law, and you can find more at her website. So, if someone's they're calling and saying, oh, so-and-so's in jail and needs help, are there little things we can do to verify in case we just are not all that up to date with our grandkids?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I recommend just hanging up the phone and either reaching out to the person themselves or to another family member to see what's going on with that individual and if this could really possibly be legitimate. That's the best way to handle that one. But, it's important just to, not believe promises of prizes or anything like that, and not to let the fear get to them. And, it's important, especially now around the holidays, if you're visiting with your loved ones, to look at the mail. If they're getting a lot of different mail about these types of things, it might be possible that somebody's already gotten to them. And to, check their email if you can, and just to kind of keep an eye out for, someone you may be visiting that you don't see all the time, just to take a look around and see if anything strange is going on that might be worth looking into. And it goes to, estate planning documents. If you're a power of attorney, you have the ability to check bank accounts and see what's going on. And if your elderly loved one is beyond the point of being able to sign a power of attorney, maybe it's time to look into a guardianship. And those are the types of things that we can help with if it's gotten to that point.
GenserLaw.com is where you can find more. Melissa, can't thank you enough, because it really is a hard conversation, but at some point it must be had, and the holidays are a good time to really have that heartfelt conversation. Melissa, thank you so much for being on America Trends. We'll see you next time.
It's what I've been talking about. Shoving all those clothes in a suitcase or in storage for the season is a real